Hi, I'm Jackie Topin. I'm going to show you how to make this card box using a simply scored diagonal scoring plate. And just put the cards in there. And it just tucks in behind your embellishment to close. Or you can tuck it in like that and have your embellishment up there. I'll show you both ways how to do that. Okay, I'm going to be using the new diagonal plate that goes with my simply scored scoring tool, and it fits right inside. I put the arrow to the top. It's got these silicone pads to hold it in place. So tuck it up in the corner there. And I cut my designer series paper 11 by 11, and I'm going to score it at 3.5 on two sides. 3.5, and actually I'm going to use the thinner side there. This is a little bit thicker than normal designer series paper. It almost feels like cardstock. So 3.5 and 5.5 I'm scoring on the two opposite sides. So turn it all the way around. And I'll do 3.5 and 5.5 on this side as well. Make sure my score lines are in there well. If I was scoring a larger sheet of paper too, it's nice. You can just go right off the edge. Now on the other two sides, I'm going to be scoring this 4.5 and 6.5. So there's 4.5 and 6.5, and then I'm going to do the opposite side as well. 4.5 and 6.5. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see my score lines very well, so I'm going to fold that all up. I'm going to take my scissors and cut just up to that first score line there. So score line along there. And I'll do the same on the bottom. And I want to cut these little triangles out of the corners. There's one there and then one on the end. So do that on all four corners. Okay. Once you have all your corners cut the way you want, you can assemble your box. I think I'm just going to use glue dots because this box there's not a lot of pressure in it. I'm thinking it should hold. You can also use sticky strip or Tombow. I'm going to use glue dots. Put them in opposite corners here. I think a couple should hold for each one. And I want to show you another trick for using the score pal, or the, oops, I should say the scoring tool. Tuck your box up into the corner, and then when you stick your corner down, it'll be nice and square. Do it that way is probably better. I'll do the same with this other side. So I got my back butted up against that side, and the other just fits nicely in the corner, and then you can tuck it in nice and tight, and you'll have a good square there. Okay, these sides are going to go in, and I'm just going to put a glue dot on each of those corners. And again, I want to make sure that's squared up, so I'm going to just hold that in there. Make sure that's squared up. glue dot down. You can run some glue under there, which I think I might do that. Now these flaps I'm just going to leave loose, and all I have to do to close my box now is tuck it in like that. Okay, before I put my box together, I should have probably sponged it. I always find with the designer series paper, when you cut it, it leaves a white edge. So if you sponge the edge, it gets rid of that white. It just looks a lot better. So if you want to do that, just quickly do that before you put it all together. Now this part here, instead of cutting it off, just fold it under with your fingers and just put another glue dot there to hold that down. I'm just going to use my Tombow because I got it handy here. The glue dot's probably better because then it holds instantly. So tuck that under, and the reason for that is it's going to give us something a little bit more stable. I'm going to poke a hole in there. Punch a hole right in the center. And I made this little flower earlier. It was left over from a punch art class. I stuck a brad through the center. And we want to close our card box. Just slide it in, and we're finished. If you don't like your box flap tucked in behind, you like the look of an envelope, you can also do this. And have your embellishment at the bottom. Measure where it's going to go, where your flap point will be. Do that with a little pencil. That's going to be too high. So, if you want your envelope on top, just mark that with a little pencil. Make sure that's going to work. And I'm going to take my piercing tool and go a little smidgen higher. Once I put my embellishment there, alright, got that all on. Move that so it's in our flap. We'll just tuck under there. And that will hold your box closed.